Well, folks, in today's video we're going to be doing a basic oil change on this Bachmann BNSF locomotive. I got this Bachmann engine for Christmas 2011 in the famous Rail Chief starter set. I really wanted it, and I was so excited the morning I got it. Anyway, I have to say that of all the Bachmann engines I've ever owned, this has been the most reliable Bachmann engine I ever have owned. This thing has never given me any grief, which in comparison to the rest of my Bachmann engines is something pretty special. So anyway, we're going to be changing the oil because although it runs fine, last time I was running it, it was sounding a little rough, and the oil has never been changed since this thing left the factory, so it's way overdue. So anyway, we're going to change the oil, and yeah, hopefully it will run better. It's not the quietest engine. Its wheels are actually, I think, quite dirty, but so to begin, we're gonna try to remove this. I believe it just kind of wiggles off, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. And we are inside, so there's all the rest of it. Pretty sure I opened this engine up before once for some reason. Probably why these screws are not overly tight. The couplers are sticking out just a little bit far, but there we go. So there we are inside, and for a base quality model, this is not the worst construction I've seen. I can tell already it's got the same trucks, which seem to be notorious for cracking, but other than that, that's a pretty nice looking motor actually, which I suspect is why this one's lasted so long. Anyways, we're gonna try, I guess, I don't know, taking out these trucks here. I see a lot of old grease. I suspect that that's our problem. It's not really a preferable screwdriver for this job. I'll try using this one. There's one screw. Now that we've got the screws all loose there, I believe we can just kind of pull this piece out here. Yeah, I got some extra wire slack so that we can at least pull it down a bit there and gain access to the trucks. I'm not going to bother disconnecting them, but we'll see if we can disassemble them a little bit more just to oil them properly. Okay, apparently the people at Bachmann went a little wild with the oil. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but so much grease. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I've never been much of a believer, too, though, that you should be lubricating gears with grease. It might have just worked its way down from the gear worm, but I have no idea why they put so much oil. I mean, like, it's just full of oil. I've decided we need to take the gears out of this thing. So to do so, we're just going to tap out these little, sort of, I don't know how you would say it, like little pivots kind of like go in, and when you tap them on one side, they pop out on the other, and you pull them out like that. And anyway, they're what's responsible for holding in all the gears. And well, once you remove them, you can actually start taking out the gears. I think I'll give Bachmann the Lubrication Award of 2019. I mean, this is really quite something, and I just keep finding more oil everywhere I look. There's a big spot of, oh boy. And there's hair in the gearbox too. You know, guys, I'm going to go ahead and take a wild guess and say that whatever this is probably not good for the locomotive's performance. Yikes. really can't believe how much grease Bachmann put in this thing. Now, I don't know if Bachmann and Halliburton are like best friends or something, but I think this about sums up the word ridiculous. I have no idea why they would put so much oil and grease in their locomotives. I mean, this is just a ridiculous quantity, which would definitely add a lot of strain to the motor and bog down performance. And it's also given a lot of like little pieces of dust and hair, something to stick to. So yeah, I'm glad we're removing all of this and replacing it with a responsible amount of oil and a responsible amount of grease. So anyway, we're going to try to reassemble this thing now. I did already take apart the other truck, and it was the exact same situation, just a large ton of oil and grease. A lot. Anyway, let's rebuild this thing properly. To begin, we will take all the bearings and we're going to just put a very small amount of oil in each of the bearings. As always, you just want the thinnest slick of oil. See, I'm just letting the oil sort of wick down the tube there, just spread out. I'm not even putting a drop on this thing, and that is all you need. As for our gears here, we're going to put the little pivots in, and then I guess maybe before we put the gears themselves in, we'll put some oil in here. I don't know. We'll get the oil to them somehow. Yeah. Alright, so I've got the largest of gears in there. And just put this tube here through, see if we can get it to go through the gear there. There we go. And we'll have it in that spot. We'll take our little pivots there, and we'll get our gearboxes back together. One piece at a time. And we'll put each of our wheel sets in. I think we can just go right ahead and put the truck covers back on, if that's the right way. Yep. And before we put the whole thing back together, we're going to put our famous 3-part oil, 1-part grease mix on the worm gear. I'll just put a nice coating on there and turn it a few times manually. And I'll put some oil on the bearing as well. And just like that, that whole piece is lubricated. Alright, well, I did some mining off camera, and as you can see, the engine's done now. So all we have to do is put that thing there. Let's test it. Alright, so even after all the stuff we removed, it didn't seem to make a massive difference, but I have a feeling it will allow this engine to last longer. Thank you guys for watching.